Greetings all. My name is Clair, first of all. Hope you're treating yourselves well, and of course others. You could be feeling in a daze. You could have recently separated from your person, or just things could be just you're feeling disillusioned. So maybe you're kind of like coping with things that you're finding out, or just the situation at hand, you're realizing the state of things. Perhaps I really think that you might have sent like an extension of love, maybe sent a thoughtful letter, or said something to like your person, like extended, I'm hearing like the olive branch, but maybe you've like extended yourself to a few people in your life, being like, I think you're very special to me. I would like to delve deeper into like what could be potential. I think you might have a lot to offer in relationships. You could be well off, or adapt to life. Like you could be really good at giving feedback, taking feedback, very down to earth, willing to put in the work, humble, but like you have spice to you. You're not gonna like take anything from anyone. So you're like a weapon in someone's repertoire. You would be a gift to be had. And I think you know that. Maybe being around people or this person has kind of made you feel lesser than. Maybe you kind of felt like you deserved this for a while, or you were like, you had done something in order to make this person treat you this way. Maybe you did or didn't, but they were acting out of character. They were acting foul. I think you both see a lighter side, and or just like a different person when you're alone with each other. I think that as a collective, there's a wholesomeness, a familiarity, in a sense of like, you can hurt me, but I know that if I retaliate, then I'm gonna probably get it back. Like, I think life right now is kind of in a sense of, if this person is being drug away from you, if you don't know this, then here. But it's a sense of like, your person might be being dealt karma for treating you poorly, and or how they treat others, or how they've acted in some way, form, or fashion. And you don't want to reap that. You don't want to have to feel that. That's not on you, and it's not your responsibility to help this person feel better and or feel their way through the situation. I mean, if they ask you and or like are begging for help or something, I'm not asking that's not necessary. You don't want people to beg. Like, it's not a thing. But what I'm kind of saying is like, there needs to be an even playing field. I think both of you need to equally respect each other, and maybe there was a sense of like they didn't at one point, or maybe they acted like they didn't respect you. You got the 10 of Swords in reverse. So maybe it was more of like they acted like this was just, or they acted like you were deserving of this, or maybe they like fled the situation hoping that you would feel like alone, or like you caused it somehow, like you were to blame, or you were in this upon your own doing some way or somehow. It might not have been so hateful at all times, but I think there's just so much emotion. There's like so much emotion to be had in this situation. All the love that you feel can easily turn into hate. You might joke with each other very strongly so that you know each other very personally, and it can become like sincerely cutthroat at times, because you might know things about each other to the point where you know exactly what the buttons to push, or their weaknesses in a sense. the Five of Wands, yeah, I think it's hard for you guys not to fight at certain times, or it was at, like, you are being drug away from each other or forced apart, perhaps by life, or because of a fight, or maybe someone, you or them, came to reality and, like, this is unhealthy. There's something unhealthy in nature. It was going down, and it needed to go down in order to come back up. You guys needed to hit a rock bottom. Not in a sense of, like, violence or whatever, but there needed to be a depletion of everything. I think you needed to be depleted, and they needed to be depleted. You guys need to know what it feels like to miss each other, to hate each other, to love each other, to want to surrender to each other, to want to just, like, out of desperation, just feel each other, need, want, despair. Like, you know, the whole encompassing, like, the all of it. You need to want all of it. And I think that's what the true nature of 55 could be important to you, or it's a 10, that's a completion. You needed to find a completion of the way you guys were and are, or are. If you have not separated, or had not had a separation, it's coming probably, but it also, if it is a separation that is being caused by the world, and or a realization of someone that you need to better each other by being apart for a period of time, you will find reverence in that. It gets easier the better decisions that you make. Life punishes us when we think that we know for definite. Let's see. Maybe you guys have had a really hard time with actualizing the situation. Maybe you've only been friends. The Four of Wands there is a sense, it was in reverse, so maybe you are just separated right now, or in need of separation, because usually there's a time where you need to grow. Like, the Four of Wands usually looks like this, or it's like standing two poles, but this one is a box. So I think you guys need time to assume the position so it goes like that. Like, you're right here, but you need to be like, I did it fluidly. Yeah, like that. You needed just kind of like to grow into the position so that you guys can be sturdy. There needs to be a figuring out of how you communicate. I think that there's a very big social aspect, or it's very important for you visually, both in some way or another. You probably enjoy each other's visual aspects, or the way each other move, and like the skin. I think that you really love the smell of your person, like they're after a shower or before. I think you like the smell of their skin, like in the morning, or just like after, at a certain point. Just remember, if you guys are forced away from each other, to learn everything that you can in order to return to that person as quickly as possible. I know from experience, if you retaliate, even if it is in like an art form, if you try to make someone feel bad, it's kind of an action, is it not? You're seeking out vengeance in a form of like reaction sense. This is the Hermit, but it was in reverse, so maybe you're kind of like wanting to be confusing. Like, maybe you want to confuse someone, maybe you are doing like an eye for an eye sort of situation. Maybe someone neglected you or rejected you. Maybe it's been kind of like a give and take of that sort of thing. At different times you were busy doing other things, and it's hard, you just have never come together completely. Maybe you've only been crushes of each other's, or hookups, or friends with benefits or just friends. Maybe you've never really gone that extra step. There's a lot of tension, a lot of, I guess maybe anger too, because I'm hearing like blood curdling. So maybe there's just a lot of anger towards each other. Maybe that you're kind of like blinded by rage right now, or you are needing to find your definition of how to communicate with this person, or if you want to communicate with this person again. Maybe you feel like so severed right now that it doesn't even seem possible. Or maybe you just want someone to like fight for you. Maybe you want to take flight. I think that a passion is the issue. You guys might have a lot of passion together, but when it comes to like the chase, both of you might be kind of running away at the same time and looking back and being like, I thought that we were passionate about each other, but I guess not. Like that kind of feeling. The fire might be stomped out by each other at different times, but every time you've tried to push that person away, I think it's deeply hurt you, or you get like attacked with these visions that like every time you've tried to deny this person or like cut ties with them in a sense, like maybe even in like a spiritual sense, or you've asked for how to like get rid of this person in your life. Maybe you've done like spiritual like cutting or something like that, cutting cords or like rituals or some sort to try to get this person out of your life. But I think there's something like a rubber band kind of holding you to memories or thoughts. Maybe it's like incessant. Maybe you feel haunted by this person. Maybe you respect them, but you just are like, how do I reveal like peace? How do I see peace in this situation? For it is a burden at this point, or it has been. You just want someone to love you properly and show you their light as much as you're willing to be open to, because I think you're kind of in the motions of being more apparent, being more obvious, speaking better. It's going through the motions, like you're saying things, maybe you haven't said the right things always, maybe you have had the right heart space, but you're like, I want to build, and maybe you don't want to run or chase, but you've had an issue with finding that like maybe you still get kind of angry. Like this person just knows how to push your buttons. It seems like they really just they know how to push your buttons. They're like a guiding light, but the fact that they don't chase after you, or they have held back from you or walked away from you, there's something about them that really opens you up when you guys are together, but something when you're away from each other, you just clam up like oyster mode. You are like, okay, cool, we can play, or we can see who can hold out. It's just a very it doesn't feel good to either of you. I don't think that there's a lot of satisfaction in this, and the longer that you commit to this sort of behavior of like tally marks, or like battling, not learning that even when you think bad things or are trying to get a rise out of this person, it's not helping your cosmic growth. Like you are kind of look at this, the spider in reverse. I feel like you're kind of like messing up your web a little bit. You're like trying to build, but when you're like throwing your hand through the web when you get mad at this person, instead of just like forgiving them for their nature. Because like if they are not good for you, then let it go. Let them do their thing for as long as they need to. And if they never measure up to be good enough for you, then why? What is the matter? You'll find someone. You'll find better by not dealing with things that are not good for you. Simple as that. You'll want better, you'll do better. There's growth to be had for you, whether this person assumes the position now or later. You need to incubate your own egg. You need to see the light that you possess, that I think that you already do. Like, you've given birth to your new self. I think that you've really put in work in a lot of ways, and to dim your light by being hurt by something that is, this person might have a deep connection to you in some way in life, and that might be true, but until that is until the light is brighter, you need to look away. It's not your guiding light right now. Your guiding light is internal. And with that, I wish you luck, and I know that you got this, for real. It only gets easier, and the better that you do for yourself, the better you get for yourself, and like that there's nothing truer than that. You gotta know I love you.